Welcome to this video about the divorce GPS. My name is Mimi Thrasher, and I'm excited to have with us today Bonnie Duarte, who is a divorce therapist. And it was actually Bonnie who inspired me to create the divorce GPS. Welcome, Bonnie, to this Zoom. I'm so excited to have you
Yeah,
here for this conversation with me.
me as well, Mimi. And yeah, I am the one that spoke to you about it initially because it just seemed like such a beautiful match. You are the organization queen, and you've written a book and you help organizations and individuals. And given your life experience, and you've also gone through a divorce, and your commitment to really make a difference with people. And it just seemed like a huge it would have been I guess a missing or a like it was a blind spot that I hadn't even thought of you before today or
Yeah,
recently, not today, but until just recently. So when I put those two together, I was super excited to reach out to you, and the fact that you have taken this on full notch, and you've really put the time, the energy to develop something that's really exciting. I'm super excited to hear about what you've developed. So take it away. I'm
thanks.
all ears.
Well,
Yeah.
I got to start off by saying I was so happy that you shared with me the book that you recommend to people, The Divorce Planner. And in this moment, I can't remember the author. Do you remember the name of the author?
She's the lemonade coach, and I'm also
Yeah.
forgetting her name as well.
Anyways,
That's
The
okay. Yeah.
Divorce Planner. I want you to know, even though I'm now married, in preparation for this, I read that book at least 3 times
Yes.
because I know that people will be going through that process. And I wanted to base the divorce GPS on that.
Mm.
So I've taken some of the best things out of that book and created a whole slew of structures that will support somebody going through divorce.
Yeah, it's so great. And because I know my clients in particular, they get so overwhelmed with what to do next, how to gather all your information, how to plan, how to prepare, what's important, what's not important. And just to have somebody to be able to walk them through that and to create a system and a structure that's not overwhelming, that that is huge for people. So yeah, so thanks.
That's awesome. So I'm excited to share it with you. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to go through the steps that I created based on that book.
Beautiful.
All right, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Awesome. All right. So you have your first step, second step, third step, and fourth step. You can do them almost a month at a time, and they might stretch out depending on your divorce journey. Everybody has a different journey. Each divorce is as individual as the two people in it. But the first step, the very first step, is starting with what the divorce planner calls uncoupling. And uncoupling, the very first thing to do is to establish your date of separation. And once you establish your date of separation, make sure you and your spouse, your ex-spouse, or your person you're divorcing from agree on that date so that in your legal documents and everything you do, it's synonymous. And then you're going to start doing things like separating your bank accounts, taking names off of each other's credit cards. And you'll definitely have to create a plan and a parenting plan. And so I created this whole thing out in steps, as you can see here in checklist format. And then if you go at the bottom here to the roadmap, it's by week.
Mm.
And it breaks down when you're working with me, it breaks down what to do by week. So you're not overwhelmed. It's not like all of a sudden you can't move because you have all this stuff. No, you just have to make 1 or 2 hours a week to work on your divorce journey and fulfill on some of these things. So establish the date of separation, but it would be week 1, and creating that time would be week 1. Though a lot of the things I suggested to you were first things, things you wanted to do first. And I do have to say, in your first month, when you're 100% sure you're going through divorce, you want to get yourself a divorce coach, at least by week 3. So, right. And I put your name and contact here, Bonnie, in case people want to reach out to you. It'll be in this spreadsheet. And then another important thing on this road is to create a self-care plan. So it's not like all of a sudden forget about yourself. You need to be physically, emotionally strong for yourself and your family, your kids, as you go through divorce. So it's important for you to continue to work out, or to start a workout plan, or to take that time off to go for a manicure, or whatever that is. You get to take care of yourself, regardless of the fact you're going through a divorce journey.
Yeah, it's so interesting, Mimi, because I know that one of the things my new clients end up doing is they dive in neck deep and they consume themselves with everything to do with the divorce, and they get everything done right off the bat, which is highly stressful, and much of the things that they're actually preparing are not necessary to prepare at that time.
Right.
And there are also things that, as time progresses, they might have to do that whole entire process over again. So not only is it not relevant at the time, but now they're doing twice the work.
Right.
So this is a much slower process, which is completely in alignment with what I say, which is, just slow down. This is not a marathon.
Slower.
It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. Slow down.
Exactly. It's a marathon. It's slowed down, but it's an intentional process. It's not like you stopped doing something. You're just taking a step that builds, each one builds on the other.
Yeah.
So I created in the Divorce GPS, week 2 would look all about financials, getting names of investments. If you may have to get your real estate appraisal, and you may not have to get it at this time. You may, that would be a question for your lawyer as to when the best time would be, probably at the point when you're divorcing. And you have to get, because the real estate market is so volatile, it doesn't make sense for you to get an appraisal now and then have to get an appraisal closer to the point when the divorce is being written up and the value needs to be known. But that's definitely a lawyer question. So that you can add to your week 1 thing. Oh, it's not here, but I have it somewhere else, that in your month 1, you should start a document with lawyers to your question. That's definitely something to put on your lawyers to questions for your lawyer document. Gathering any debt info. Do you have car payments that you share, you pay for, he pays for, both names are on, whatever those things are. Policies, be aware of each other's policies. Are you on their health policy? Are they on your health policy? Are you going to continue that? Power of attorneys, beneficiaries, how does that shift for you? So this spreadsheet breaks it down and allows you to look at things a little bit more with less overwhelm. It's a good way to say that. Step 3, which I put in month 3, is more about present and future planning, creating your monthly budget, projecting, learning how to project your expenses into the year. And I'm going to show you some more about that. And some bookkeeping, which you could do that. Let me just show you the monthly budget here. So I currently meet with a couple of girls, and we go through our monthly budget as a co-working session. So I've trained them on how to use this. And every week we get together and we have our Zoom open and we update, what payments came in, what payments have to come out. Do I have enough money in the bank? Do I, and just make sure it's it all works on a monthly process. And the projected monthly thing has to do with, okay, well, if I have all these sources of income and I'm getting all this amount of money, then I know exactly how much money I would be getting for the month, which tells me when I'm doing my monthly budget, if I'm getting, to use a number just for a number, if I'm getting $5,000, my monthly budget better not be more than $5,000. So you get to play with it. Or if my monthly budget is more than $5,000, where am I getting that extra amount? Do I need another client? Do I need a passive income job so that I make up that cushion? That kind of thing. So it's a really good way to look at things. And again, once I train people, we have a weekly meeting where we can co-work, and I don't look at your financials. We don't look at each other's financials. We just do the work in that moment.
Yeah, it's so great to have that dedicated time and spot where you're going to completely focus on your future and your present situation, and where you're not doing it alone, and creating some community, people that can relate to you. You can ask questions. I know a lot of my clients are questioning a lot of the decisions they're making, and to have that reassurance and that support could make a tremendous difference.
Yeah, yeah. So, and then the fourth month that I put together for the beginning has to do with the legal aspect. So I definitely, oh, here's her name, Alicia Robertson. I knew I had it somewhere. And recommend that you read pages 33 to 52 for sure at this point of the month, because it has to do with the legal aspect. And she has, I'm going to show it to you in a second, in her book, she has a template for a legal brief. And why that legal brief is so important is because lawyers charge you by the amount of time they spend with you. And if you fill out this legal brief, and she talks a little bit about how to fill it out and how to write your divorce story, you're going to save yourself a ton of money, especially if you send it to your family lawyer before you meet him. Now, yeah. I don't know if he'll look at it before he sees you, but at least he could he has the choice of looking at it, but he'll have everything. You're not going to sit there while he's taking down all kinds of statistics like name and phone number and how many kids you have and what their ages are, because he already has it on a document in front of him. You can get to what you need to get to.
Yeah, absolutely. And just when you take that time and have become clear on what it is you're asking for, what you're looking for. And I love the fact that we're looking, what week is this? It says, is that week 1?
Week 1 is read the divorce planner. Yeah.
Oh, read the divorce planner. Okay. And where the legal actually contacting your lawyer, it feels like you're recommending that further into the future, not at week 1.
Correct.
Yeah. I'm a huge supporter of that as well. I think all too often we think that the next person we need to contact is our lawyer, and they're not the person we should contact until we know what we want from them. Too often we're contacting the lawyer to ask them what we should do. And lawyers work best for us when we can instruct them on how we need them to support us.
Absolutely.
And so that's an area that I actually work with a lot with clients, is helping them structure and make sense of where they are at right now in the divorce. How can they speak to their lawyers, and what types of questions do they ask them? What type of information do we present to them? And I love that it's also in the workbook as well. So there's lots to understand before lawyers even become part of the conversation.
Yeah.
And this is all inside of saving massive money with lawyers. You
Yes.
know, Mimi, when people are working with somebody like you and somebody like myself, they will save thousands and thousands of dollars because lawyers charge you to do all of this stuff.
Yes.
And and or you're left to your own vices. And it's so this is
Yeah.
huge.
So yeah, so I tell people to print and complete the legal, so preparing to connect with your lawyer is starting around week 2 of month 4. And it
Mm.
could be a little bit more stretched out, like I said, but if you feel intentional about doing things and you follow this, it'll be week 2, month 4. And I actually suggest that in week 2, and I might be off on this, you might know more than I do, Bonnie, that they make an appointment with their lawyer for week 4 of month 4. I don't know if that's too soon or if it should be stretched out more.
You said
Um,
week 4 of month 4?
yeah, like 2 weeks later.
Got it, got it. Okay, got it. Yeah, it in that might I think that it is quite individual, but it's what I like about this is it's not immediate. We're doing a whole bunch of things before even considering the lawyer, which helps us even decide what type of lawyer is necessary. So, and in some cases, we don't need a lawyer. Certainly not right away. We sometimes some cases you don't need a lawyer to the very end. And some
Right,
people never use a lawyer. So it's but when using a lawyer, it's important to know what when you're ready.
right.
Yeah.
So when you go to your lawyer, you'll go armed with a few different things. One, you'll be
Yeah.
going with the legal brief, which I'll show you in a moment and I'll share with you. You'll go with an agenda, which you'll
Mm.
share with them. And so mm, you're facilitating the meeting, which is also going to save money. And I support people with how to create the agenda and what should be on the agenda. And you're going to be bringing your list of questions that you've been creating since month 1. So it's going to be an impactful quality session, that first session.
Absolutely. That first meeting with the lawyer can be a pricey one because too many people end up wanting to tell the lawyer their whole divorce life and story and everything. And we use the lawyer as a pseudo therapist, pseudo strategist, and but the more you're there prepared and armed with all the relevant information, you will get so much more out of this session. Your lawyer will see how competent you are, and your lawyer will actually treat you different and respect you.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So I want to share a couple of other forms that I have available for the people who decide that they want to participate with me in the divorce GPS. The first one is an interim family and financial agreement, right? Which you would want to make with what's the proper term for the person you're about to divorce, Bonnie?
Oh, I think it's very individual. It could be your former spouse. It could be some people like the word ex. Sometimes we just use their name. You
Okay.
can use the person's name, or you can yeah, it's
Okay.
whatever you want.
So the person you're about to divorce. That's a good way
Yeah,
to
that's
say
fair. That's
that.
fair. Yeah.
Okay. Another form I like to share with people is the letter requesting money from your soon to be ex partner, just in case that's not something that's, how should I say this? You're not having a good agreement about it. That's not going well. This is a letter so that you have it in writing before you take the step of having to go to a lawyer to get him to pay you.
Right. Right.
Kind of thing. You can go to the lawyer saying, I gave him this letter, so he can't say that you never asked him. I say
Yeah.
he, but it's either way.
Yeah.
So this is an example of the legal brief that I was talking about here, and this an executive summary plus the divorce story. There's a place for the divorce story here, And she talks about it in her book, The Divorce Planner. Highly, highly, highly recommend. This is going to save you at least 1 or 2 sessions with your lawyer. At least one or
Yeah,
two sessions with your lawyer.
for sure, for sure.
And I think that's it. Oh, no. And then if anybody wants to get the checklist that I showed them, it's called the Divorce Yellow Brick Road. So you're starting on that yellow brick road. There's a little bit about me. And then I have this whole checklist laid out by weeks here.
Perfect,
The
perfect.
only thing you have to do is send me your email and I will email it to you. So it's exciting. There's some here. Once you get through that, there's some next steps. You can join a Facebook group where we talk about the different steps and what's next to take. And if you want to reach out to me, there's a way to do that too.
Perfect.
So, you know, one of the things why I'm excited about this program, and listen, I'm not excited that people are getting divorced and they're having that kind of angst in their life. But why I'm excited to have created this program is because I'm all about impacting peace on the planet. And for me, when people have inner peace, the world is going to have outer peace. And sometimes that looks like knowing how to get along in the not so good moments. And that doesn't always go that way. And this program is allowing me the opportunity to serve people who are on the divorce journey instead of feeling like they want to pull their hair out and or frozen in fear, giving them some control and some peace of mind and the ability to sleep at night and be with their family or their children, regardless of the fact they're going through some emotional upheaval. So I feel honored and blessed that I get to serve people going through divorce.
Yeah, it's so great. Now I know it's $150 a month. That to some people they might go, ouch, that's a lot of money. I know that people spend thousands of dollars with lawyers a month, and if there's anything we can do to significantly reduce those fees, let's find ways to do that. Mimi, what's included with the $150 a month
Oh,
for clients?
so there's 2 one-on-one calls with me per month, plus 1 co-working session, which would the co-working session is a session where Zoom would be open, and depending where you are in the journey, you are looking or gathering documents. It could be a time when you're doing some of the financial things. But it's a time for us to be together in community as we work on our individual divorces. And then, of course, if you want to join the finance group as your time for when you work on your finances, you can do that as well. So that's the basic structure. You'll be getting all these spreadsheets with me. You're getting the training on the spreadsheets. And depending how things go, we might actually do some kind of networking kind of thing where we get to know each other from a different perspective than the divorce perspective, but we'll see how that goes. There will also be a Facebook group, a private Facebook group. All people in the program will have the opportunity to bounce things off each other and ask questions. I'll be in and out of the group, posting a variety of different things as well.
Good.
Am I missing anything? Is there anything I could be putting in the program that I didn't?
Well, and and knowing that this is a new opportunity working with women going through divorce, the, the person I know you as, Mimi, is that you will be looking, always asking and looking for what's next, what's missing, how can you service people better? And I have no doubt that you will grow and continue to service your participants and clients to the best of your ability, which is phenomenal. And you guys will learn from one another.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being with me for this conversation, Bonnie,
Yeah.
and contributing to it and to people going through this challenging time in their life. I am looking forward to supporting the divorce journey, and making a difference for people and peace.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you.
Bye for now.